Inevitable Conclusions by Gary D. Morton. He's a fucking predator and he can smell blood. He fucks all of the empty women. It's far too easy. But it does not fulfill him. It does not make him feel complete. All he wants is to be happy, like he was before. He hates them all and they don't even try to stop him. They don't even try to make it hard for him. Just another target, just another number, just another drunken regret. He devours his prey and leaves the carcasses steaming in the rain. He leaves chaos in his wake, and yet still he feels nothing. He barely remembers their name and he barely bothers to listen when they speak. He tries to fuck and hammer away the pain in his chest as he tries desperately to feel alive. He's intelligent, well-read, articulate. He's a cold, calculating machine and he leaves a trail of devastated, meaningless wreckage. He constantly seeks revenge and retribution for the agony he suffers in the pointless pursuit of flesh. He has an artificial heart made of valves and plastic. He's only been in love twice in his life. He once knew what it felt like to be among the living. He once felt the embrace of hope clutching his heart. Twice in his life, he knew what it felt like to believe in something. His phone is full of pictures of people putting things into themselves. He sits defeated in the bottom of the shower. He lets the water run over his emaciated shoulders. The water drips from the ends of his hair and runs down his back. His skin is burned from the deluge. He rests his head in the tiled wall because he just can't face trying to hold it up. He is so broken. The radio plays soft static and the water is getting cold. Peaceful white noise. There are shards of broken bottles piled up in the bottom of the shower. They cut into his skin and the blood languidly mixes with the water. The red swirls round and around. She gave him wings of purest white. He's constantly rummaging through his collection of body parts, trying to construct something beautiful. All he finds is glittering whores with hollow mannequin flesh. The glitter seems sweet, and the honey-dipped limbs look fresh, but they taste of bitter ash and batteries. He can't remember the days when he was still human. Young, pretty things out to play make them feel ugly, with knitting needle fingers. Poke, poke, poke. And then he drives home through oceans of hate. This one, the latest one, is lying in the bed and she's beginning to tend to her wounds. The sheets are wet and the thick scent of subjugation pervades the air. She was everything that was promised. Insatiable, depraved and submissive. She liked it when he's put his hands round her throat. You could see the fear in her eyes, behind the sordid hunger to be debased and humiliated. She has painted velvet skin and a touch like ice. She is nothing and everything all at once. And even with all these shapely shadows passing through my hands, and with all these endless drunken mistakes I have made, I always think of you. There's a little man that follows me everywhere. He lives his life just a few steps ahead and a few steps behind me. Sometimes he is slightly behind me in time, sometimes he's in front. He waves to me from the past and his head is on upside down. He constantly shakes his head at me and it goes all the way around. He is dressed in all the pretty, pretty colours. He's a hateful, glowing firefly. His eyelids are made of crystals, and when he looks at me, his eyes are reflected like a kaleidoscope, but with no pretty, pretty colours. He looks at all of my mistakes and sees them coming. He sidesteps them with poise and grace. His fingernails are made of gnarled willow branches, and his hair is raven's feathers. He's a beautiful fresh white lily in his left lapel. The petals are fresh, but the perfume smells like poison. He will never share his secrets. I scream at him to tell me which way to go, to just fucking tell me what to do next. He wears a ragged top hat and a monocle. There is a glass wall that separates us. It is mere molecules thick, but I can't shout back at him through time. The light is hazy and it splits into rainbows. He looks at the things I do and he can see all the way to the horizon. He can see the day I will die. I beg for him to tell me when it will all end. He has blood for eyes, but he can see in the future. His pupils swirl and swirl. They consume all of the light. He follows me everywhere and his heart is inside out. He picks through the rubble and the wreckage and he tells me that he warned me, that he told me so. He told me not to trust them. He always said that we have to get rid of her. Don't let her in. You know what happened last time. He holds up severed heads and points at their empty eye sockets. I look back at him through the glass and I know that he's right. He's always fucking right. I hate him and he hates me. Sometimes when I'm trying to sleep, he stands in my chest and screams directly in my face. His voice is all screeching music in darkness. He sings and sings at me. Keep a stone where your heart should be. Become a void, and always see holes where the stars should be. Break them so that you cannot be broken. Do not give them a delicate porcelain figurine of your soul. All of those brainless cunts and stilts with sparkling eyes, do not trust them and their painted faces. As yet another empty, echoing failure resonates, and as the columns crumble under the strains of white-hot fury, foundations unsound as the sirens of the cacophony sound. The sky is caving in. Skinless, blood-red doves starve in the streets, feathers broken and spines collapsed. And if the end of everything is coming soon, all I ask is to die silently with a smile on my face, as we are all blown away as dust by the fiercest of winds that will bring us all to our knees.